Okay. Hi. Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Mike. I thought I'd unmuted myself. Mike, you talked Monday about being fortunate to be 2-0, and there's been a lot of talk about the confidence that when there's a drive needed at the end of the game or plays needed to be made, of being able to go out and do that. Is there, though, risk of maybe leaning on that too much, being a little overconfident and leaning on that too much, that it could come back and bite you and result in a loss if you're not careful?
I mean, and we have to play better, Teresa. I don't know if, we want to just put ourselves in those positions on purpose to have to execute down the stretch. That's never how it is planned. But sometimes it goes that way. I mean, obviously this week will be, we don't know what it'll be. We don't know what the situations will be. We just try to, prepare each and every week. And then as the game unfolds, be able to execute those situations as they come up.
Jim?
Hey, Mike, it seemed like Kenny Vaccaro was pretty active on Sunday. Just curious to see what your take was of his play, and what does he bring you when he's at his best?
Kenny was productive. He was productive throughout the day. He was in on a lot of plays, a lot of tackles. Brings a physical presence. He's able to execute, all our coverage variations and communicate with those guys back there. He's been somebody that's blitzed for us. And, again, we've been excited to have Kenny here since we got him in training camp a couple years ago and the impact that he's made on our football team.
Teron?
Yeah, Coach, the passing attack has really developed into a lot of balance there. What's your opinion on how Ryan has been able to get everyone involved in that passing game?
I mean, the quarterback's job is to throw to the guy that's open, read out his progressions and his reads and execute, the progression of the play, based on what coverage they're in and taking what they give us. And I think that's just the comfort level showing and, improving within our system of where he wants to go with football and being decisive. And so I think that makes everybody feel like, hey, if I'm doing my job, that the ball will find my way.
And then as a defensive coach, how do you go about, what makes that so difficult to defend when it's so balanced? There isn't just one guy that you could try to take away.
Well, I mean, I think it forces you to cover the field. It forces you to, a lot of times in zone coverage, guys are going off the eyes of the quarterback and they're adjusting to those routes. And then if the quarterback can come back and progress through given time from the offensive line, there's going to be some open zones and some open holes in that defense.
John?
Yeah, Mike, kind of getting back to that first question from Teresa, Ryan Tannehill and a lot of the guys say there's a lot of calmness in their late game or late half drives, and it's related to how many times they practiced it. I wonder, how do you keep them challenged in 2-minute warning situations, during practice, and do you change things up a lot? What makes it, translate well to the game, do you think?
Well, I think we show a lot of examples throughout the week. They come up throughout the league. Those situations, which is good. We get through the film. We're able to show those guys what it looks like on film and what potentially it could look like for us. And then we just practice those situations that come up. We try to recreate them. And again, you're never going to be perfect, but the down clock, the down timeout, all those things. Maybe you don't have any timeouts defensively. The other team doesn't have any timeouts. What are you protecting? The sideline, goal line, the field goal attempt. I think just the awareness of the 11 players out there to understand the situation gives yourself a chance to play it better.
Sure. One other on your TV show last night, I think you're talking about the running game, and I think you used the word you'd like to see more efficiency. Wondering if you could kind of expand on that a little bit, and if that's just something that perhaps is affected by lack of OTAs, minicamp, et cetera.
I don't know. And again, there's just too many. I think plays that end at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage that when we're functioning, we're eliminating those. We're staying ahead. We're efficient on first and second down. Whether we're throwing the football, whether we're running it, there's too many of those plays. I felt like here in the first couple weeks.
Thanks.
Penalties, pre-snap penalties makes it 1st and 15, 1st and 20. We should just punt 2nd and 20. But somehow, miraculously, we picked it up the other day. So we just have to eliminate those types of things, John.
Thanks. Paul?
Mike, we haven't visited the defensive play calling in a while. How's it worked the first 2 weeks? And the operation smooth? Is it you? Is it Shane? How's it working?
It's been going good. It's been going smooth. The players have been getting the call. You've seen us been able to execute there in a couple 2-minute situations that I felt like we were getting a call in. We haven't really been tested in a whole lot of tempo. That Denver might have tried to get into it a few times, but those are the things I think are important, that the players get the call so that they can function, operate. And then we'll have to just coach better this week and play better. That's really the keys for us is the 3rd down and the red zone.
Is it you or is it Shane?
Doing what, Paul?
Making the defensive play calls.
Shane talks to mostly Jayon or Rashawn, whoever has the green dot. And, it's, the play calls is a function of, this hasn't changed from when Dean was here. It's, hey, I like this. What do you like? Let's make sure we're calling this next series on 21 personnel, 12 personnel. That's how that operation works. It's been the same here for, going on 3 years now.
Luke?
Mike, we know what all the different things that Jonnu can do. Just sort of generally speaking about the tight end position, how does it help to have a tight end who's versatile like that, who can do so many different things, block, run after the catch, things like that?
Well, it's an interesting position. It's a position that, I don't think there's as many of them. A couple years ago, there was, maybe there was 10 or 11 of them at the combine. I don't know. There wasn't a big number. And I think that number has just continued to go down with how the game's being played at the high school level. And, when you go on to college, some of those kids that were tight ends sometimes become offensive tackles because they grow and are athletic and there's a vision for them there. So that the ability to have those body types that can block at the line of scrimmage, that are able to have some route craft, very similar to the tight ends that they have in Minnesota. They got 3, I would say, very good tight ends. With Rudolph, Smith, and Conklin, those are 3 good players. They all have a very good skill set. They can run, or they got really good size, and they don't mind blocking with them to help Dalvin Cook.
And this week you'll face off against one of your former guys in Tajay. What did he give you all when he was with you, and what challenge does he present to your defense this week?
Well, he always had a versatility. He could play inside, play outside. Tajay was a smart player for us. Knew all the receiver spots, which is something that isn't as easy as it sounds. Never had a problem moving positions, getting lined up in formation variations, and he was good in the red zone. Had some very good games and was able to play out of the slot for us. And he did some good things for us.
Terry?
Mike, yesterday Pat was telling us that Ryan is the same guy pretty much every day when he comes in terms of his approach and his demeanor. How much does that kind of carry over into the way he prepares for a game and the way he plays on the field?
Well, I mean, I think preparation is critical. I think consistency, being the same person each and every day is important. Having a routine. I think he's got a lot of comfort with Pat and a lot of comfort with Arthur, and the command in which he's operating the offense. He puts a lot of time into it, and you know, it's good to see him have success and our team have success.
Gentry?
Yeah, hey Mike. What has stood out to you from Minnesota's 0-2 start? And I mean, are you expecting a pretty hungry team on Sunday? You know, in need of a win.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, they've won 70% of their games in U.S. Bank Stadium since it's been open. So it's a tough place to play. You know, the game was 8-7 against the Packers. With 59 seconds to go in the first half, you know, they gave up a shot and then a turnover and another shot. And really that ended up being the difference in the game. But, you know, they traded touchdowns with them. They had no problem scoring against the Packers, a good defense. And then just the turnovers hurt them last week. So, you know, this is a good football team. It's a tough football team. A lot of respect for Mike Zimmer, his staff, Gary Kubiak. But, you know, they've got, you know, Dalvin Cook going to get plenty of action. Thielen is still hard to cover, regardless of who else is around him. And like I mentioned, the tight ends, you know, the defense has historically been very good. They've been a gold standard in the National Football League on third down. It's going to be a huge challenge, and then they're good in the red zone. So we have to improve from where we've been the first 2 weeks. We know that, and you know, it'd be a great challenge to go on the road up there.
Buck?
Yeah, Coach, to kind of follow up on Gentry's question, we talked to Coach Zimmer this morning, and he said he probably misjudged their defense a little bit with all the new guys, and that they've just made too many mistakes. Is that something that you can identify with as well, given the new personnel that you've had and the inexperience of some of the rookies out there?
Yeah, I mean, some of the young play. I mean, it's a young league. We got to get ready. We got to get these guys ready to play, and you know, we have to coach better and play better and improve our details and understanding of our offensive plays, our defensive plays, special teams. What's everybody's job, and why is it that we're asking them to do it? Hopefully, we can improve our technique, and hopefully we can, and by doing that, improve our execution.
Jared?
Yeah, Mike, you said over the last 2 years that you think the NFL, the teams that win in the end are the teams that get better throughout the course of the year. And I know a big focus this week is obviously going to be on the Vikings. But in terms of getting better this week in the meetings and on the practice field, what are you stressing to the team?
Yeah, talked about 4 things that we can improve. Talked about improving our effort, which is a result of, you know, being in great condition, improving our technique, the way we do our job, you know, whether that's running routes, blocking, rushing a passer, whatever individual technique that's being asked of you, we have to improve. We'll have to coach that and execute that. And then talked about the understanding the details better and improving, in the end, improving our execution.
And then on the Shane front, calling the plays, without him getting the experience of doing that in the preseason, is that been something that maybe slowed up or hurt in the outside backer rotation when you look at the snap count on Sunday? And is that something you guys need to be more cognizant of this week?
No, Matt Edwards is, you know, helping us there. You know, the snap count thing, I'm not, you know, that's new to me here. You know, so I don't think that has, you know, any bearing on what's going on. We had, you know, three outside linebackers, you know, active, and we're going to try to play. Everybody has a role, you know, on game day. And so hopefully we'll see where everybody's health is this week as we form a 48-man roster.
David?
Mike, Taylor Lewan has talked about the need to cut down his penalties, and it's only 2 games, but no penalties for him. Are you seeing a difference in discipline during the play, after the play, and how pleased with that are you if you are seeing that?
I mean, I don't think that, I don't really know how to take that. Hopefully we can all do our job without penalties and not have to embrace or celebrate that. I expect our players, to be able to play fast and aggressive and use great technique during the play, and also great composure at the end of the play around the whistle. And so, we all have to play better. We have to coach better. And with that, eliminating penalties is going to be something that will always help us.
All right, thanks, Coach. We ran through all the questions. Appreciate it.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Mike.
Coach.
Mike.
Thanks, Mike.